WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
Oh, that opening is so aggressive. I don't quite get that aggressiveness. Everybody be quiet while I do my opening, okay? Because we're going somewhere with all of this. We don't want to reveal too much too soon. Hi, everybody. Tom Trento on the 21st of August, 2013. Just about, why does it say 2 minutes after? It's supposed to say 1 minute after, but that's okay. We can make things happen whether we're a minute off of reality or not. Not a big deal for us because we are the United West. Many of you know about our organization. It's a counterterrorism educational organization. And in that capacity, our desire is to, among other things, disrupt, disable, destroy the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States of America in particular. We are not Johnny-come-latelys to seeing the Brotherhood as an organization that is diabolical and needs to be delegitimized. We've been doing this for many years as a voice crying in the wilderness, but thank God that every once in a while, the truth comes out and people say, hey, all the stuff you guys have been talking about all these years, you were right. Yeah, we were right. And we're going to be right about a lot of things. So thanks for joining the show. WNN 1470 on the AM side of your dial. It's a 50,000-watt radio station out of the Tony town of Boca Raton, Florida, nestled on the coast just above Fort Lauderdale, with a bunch of wealthy people and us, okay? We kind of just live in there and play in there and broadcast out of there. Actually, we're not in our Boca location anymore. We're in a bunker someplace. As the beginning of the show said, you can see us because we're producing a television show. That's what we're producing. And we're simulcasting on the radio from Miami to Orlando. You can watch on TrentoVision.tv. We defend the Constitution. We stand with Israel in her efforts to just live a peaceable life in this crazy world. We fight Islamic jihad and we fight Islamic Obama, because there's not much difference between the two of those many times. And to do all of that, we have a great crew. We have back there Mike and Damon and Imam Abdullah. You there, Abdullah?
I am here.
How are
my
you?
infidel friend?
Good, good, good. You spent a lot of time with us, and you know my guess would be your Shia and Sunni Sharia-compliant brothers don't like you spending time with them.
Not so much, my friend, not so much.
So what do? You got a different name when you go to the mosque?
No, I just take a lot of verbal abuse, some physical.
Tell them you're a spy.
I have tried.
Oh, they don't buy it?
I say I'm here performing taqiyya on their behalf, and that is the only thing that keeps me alive, but still not very popular.
And taqiyya, for our new viewers or listeners,
is lying for the sake of Islam.
Oh, so you're allowed to lie for the sake of
Absolutely.
Islam.
It is doctrinary.
Okay, good, good, good. That's cool. And we got Mike back there on the board, and we have Damon, our producer. Damon, say hello.
Hello.
Mike, say hello. Hello. And I have a co-host, as you all know.
The little Jewish one?
It wasn't ready yet. You came in too soon. I was going to talk about CJ and then say, hey, say hello to CJ
Hi.
and trick the audience.
Hi.
But that's okay. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be on the other side.
I killed
Look,
CJ.
hey, look at his hair. What you do? You're usually.
Hold on a second.
We should get a picture. There you go.
I
Yeah,
got
check
it.
that out.
I borrow your compact, Tom. Hold on.
Usually, Mark's on the other side,
Get it all fixed
and his
up.
hair looks like
Hold on.
Ishka Bibble
Yeah.
did his quaff. But right now, man, that's pretty slick.
It's a Gordon Gekko look.
There is not a hair out of place. She's got a little bit of gray going on. Looks good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have one of your...
Somewhere between Gordon Gekko and Sammy the Bull.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, it's a little bull.
Definitely
lookish.
soprano time. Yeah.
Gravano. He's got a new identity somewhere in the United States. That's a whole nother history.
All right.
Yeah, Mark's with us. CJ is, well, let the audience guess. What do you think? CJ went jihad, just running around the country?
That could very
That's
well
possible. CJ took off, went to Israel, joined the IDF.
be. That could very
That's
well
a possibility. Or she's attending to some personal business.
I'd say A or B.
A-OK, right? That's C. Our prayers are with CJ today. She's tending to a little bit of personal business. Some of her friends needed some help, and she is at her base an individual who shares her life and will help anyone that has a need. And we let her go do what she needed to do to help someone out, because we're ably supported here with Mark right next door.
That's correct.
But you are looking pretty sharp, Mark, and that kind
Hey,
of
you know,
that
I
kind
do what I
of-
can do.
Kind of brings up the next topic. Our show is growing. This TrentoVision show, Tom Trento show here, and we plan on having more shows under the TrentoVision production label. TrentoVision is the communications part of the United West.
Are you going to give me a show?
Yeah. But I think we may have a show on watching Mark put his earphones in.
Well, they keep falling. I'm not used to this side of the desk. I'm over there, you
Do
know.
what I
looking
do.
around,
Here, let me show you.
know.
Let me show you one of the secrets of the business.
What's that?
Tape.
Tape.
Okay.
Okay.
You know how the women in the beauty contest use tape?
Oh, yeah.
You want to see the
tape
back
their
of my
butts.
head? You want to see the back of my head with this tape all over the place?
You almost left with the tape on your head the other day.
That's right. I was walking out, and Damon goes, "What's on the back of your head?" And there was a piece of tape on the back of my head.
What I am cognizant of, though, is this is a much better chair than that chair over there, because I have like a nice little cool ocean breeze coming over here.
I know.
How come you don't rate that?
Yeah, they
Tom?
don't see the ocean breeze coming your way because CJ sucks up all the cool air. That's why. I'm a nice guy. But in terms of your sharp look,
Yes.
your coiffed
My-
hair,
yes, my-
your tan and all of that.
My debonair look.
And the
right?
show is growing in popularity. You know, I go places now and they roll out the brown carpet.
They throw brown.
I've been
throw brown
approached.
stuff
I've been
at you.
approached by some media consultants,
Right.
to try to develop the brand,
Right.
and in terms of the way we're dressing and all of that. And they suggested something. I think I like it. I think
What's
I'm going to
that?
go with it. If you can come in a little tighter, Mike, right here.
Always more chest hair?
Well, something like that. But this just come on a little tighter right here. Give me this shot. That first camera. No, the first camera there. Yeah. That's
He
it.
wants
Perfect.
his tight shot, Mike.
Now, if you watch carefully, they suggested this. I'm trying it out. I kind of like it, but how's that? A little bling. They said, Trento, you need some bling. You need some bling, and you're a bad
Hey,
M.
Tom, check this out in your comment.
Oh, it is kind of sazzily and dazzling. So they said, you need a little bling, you're bad. So they had this made for me. And I don't know, what do you think?
It works, yeah.
Abdullah, what do you think about the bling?
I like this very much. Are you going to get the dental grill to match?
Get a little gold tooth there. Yeah, that should work.
Dental grill. I may pass on the dental grill, but I may keep with the bling, though.
I know it's got to be gold though. If you can do
It
the
is
gold
gold,
tooth,
man.
the tooth.
Oh, the grill, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be gold. Not silver is
Mike,
like
what do you
cheesy.
think, Mike?
Yeah.
You're the younger crowd.
Yeah, what do you think?
I like it.
Okay, good.
Good,
This
good,
is not
good.
warm in here. All right.
I'm
so
cool.
bad.
I'm fine
Should
over
I leave
here.
it out for the show? Let's see. We'll get into the material here. All right. In any event, it is 10 minutes after 5 o'clock on WNN 1470. You're driving in your
God.
automobiles and you're going, what is this show all about? We actually deal with very serious national security issues, but we've learned in an hour show, if we were to tell you all the stuff we know every day, you would take your car as you're driving, come to one of the causeways in Florida and go, oh, the bridge is opening? Good. I'm going right off the bridge because I can't take this. And so we have to put a little other stuff in. And on Wednesdays, it's sort of the transition from all the craziness that's taking place in the middle of the week to where we're going at the end of the week. On Friday, have we booked the two guys, the Million Muslim Maniac March?
We just have to confirm.
Okay.
My friends are coming. Instead of me always being outnumbered, particularly last Friday. Terrible
Okay.
what you did to me. But this Friday, I am bringing my friends.
We're going to have
good.
MD Rabbi Alam.
Our favorite. Is that
Mark,
the same
I'm
guy
gonna
who
take that
called?
thing on your head.
Yours is hanging out on your shoulder. Don't even
Where?
go with me.
Oh,
Look,
what's that doing there?
Yeah, come on.
What is that? That goes over there. Oh, when I took this bling off.
Yeah.
Mike, you gotta let me know when there's a what is it? Equipment for that? Not equipment.
Wardrobe
malfunction. Remember, we had MD Rabbi Alam back on in
Is that the same guy who called in? He pretended like he's from Atlanta and all that other good stuff. Yeah. The same guy.
Yeah, they have been. This is our Friday show, Jumpin' Juma Freaky Friday show. Today's Wednesday, the 21st. They have been making the rounds on various.
He's on Hannity. He's on Hannity,
all of that. And what I found was, and I know, look, those are commercial stations. We're not. We have to raise the money.
Right.
That's the cue for CJ to say donate securely. We have to raise the money.
Hi, please donate securely. That's a good idea, Tom. And if you donate securely, you can, helps provide, for Tom's bling.
For my bling.
For his bling, and he get his gold grill on his teeth and to keep the show on the air. So there you go.
We're down with it. We're not a commercial station as Fox is, so they have segments. They got to cut to the commercials, all of that. And I've watched MD Alam and Isa Hajj, Hajj. His name is Chris, but he took the Muslim name of Isa Hajj. He's MD Rabbi Alam's partner. They're out of Missouri, and they're the organizers. They're just getting the hell beat out of them on these shows where, they say,
they are
look,
knuckleheads.
we're trying to draw attention to the plight of Muslims post 9/11, and all the Fox hosts are yelling at them, and everybody's yelling at them. We're going to bring them on. We're going to give them time to develop we've been communicating with them, and they said nobody's fair. They're not giving us the time to develop our position. Hey, if we're on the side of truth, folks, someone else developing their position inevitably will underscore your position. So we will allow them to make their position, their points, and then we got some competent
That's the reason
people.
we always encourage them to come on and debate.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have the facts speak for themselves, and their idiocy, it just comes, because most people who are liberal-minded, they stop at square one on the chessboard, and they don't go to square two, and they just have an emotional argument. And once you get past that emotional argument, the whole house of cards comes falling down.
Yeah, and so on Friday, we're going to have MD Rabbi Alam, and he is not a rabbi, he's a Muslim, but that's his name. We'll find out why.
Definitely not a rabbi.
Yeah, we'll find out why he has that name. And Isa Hodges, who's a paramedic, Muslim paramedic, and we will find out what their Million Muslim March, the name has been changed to a Million Man March or something. And
on September 11th.
September 11th, which is what, 3 weeks away?
Oh, wow.
And let's see, let me see. I was pretty good at kind of math, the macro
12?
sense.
12 years?
3 weeks for 1 million people, so you need about 333,000 people per week. 7 into 33, 655. You need about 50,000 people. They got 3 people signed up to go. So from here to the end, they
I
need
thought
about
it was
50.
4, Tom. I can't
Four.
afford.
Okay. You're so
I mean, I'm just
disagreeable.
trying to be exact here. That's
They
all.
need about 50,000 people per day from now until the September 11th to
Well,
sign
maybe
up.
they're secretly signed up. We just don't know about it.
But these guys, they come across sometimes as, particularly MD Rabbi Alam, as a buffoon, which could be very accurate, or he
Did
could
you
be
say baboon?
he could be playing everybody. They may be playing the media like a cheap sweater. They may
Right.
have Plan B to roll out, where a million people didn't come, but they create a video or they do something that mobilizes a lot of people, shows people how to play the media. We don't know. But many times in this business, folks, what you see on the surface is not what's really there. So we're going to try to dig down deeply on Friday, get to the bottom of this Million Muslim March. That's Friday.
He's been pushing this Million Muslim March for a while now. I mean, back 6 months ago when we first had him on, it was he was talking, and I think he had 2 people then.
Him and Issa. Yeah.
Him and Issa were signed up for it, but
We'll
that's
see.
doubling. That's a double.
That's Friday's
100%
show.
increase.
We always have fun and Jumpin' Juma Freaky Friday. What do we have for Thursday? We have anything put together yet? We got 20 people that want to be on the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have a backlog of guests.
Okay. What we'll do, folks, and many of you are writing to us. You're contacting Tom at TrentoVision.tv, or you're writing to info@theunitedwest.org, and you're saying, have this person, have this person, have this person, have this person. Many good suggestions. We're passing them on to our production department, which is Damon, and he's putting a list together. And we're trying, but
I'm checking it twice.
yes, but the problem is when you have significant breaking news like we had over the weekend, then you do a 2-part series on an individual from Florida who has had a high profile for many years, who has been launched into the Muslim Brotherhood stratosphere, then responsible investigative reporting, which is what we try to do, necessitates covering Ahmed Bedier like we did on Monday and Tuesday. 2 great shows on the record regarding who Bedier is, but we didn't, I don't think, Mark, did we complete everything with Bedier?
No, we just superficially hit him. And just on the superficial aspect of what he did, where he's been, and things like that, I mean, the evidence is damning. But you start getting into his quotes, his statements, his whole, ideology, his true loathing of Jews, and his disgust of Israel, and his, it is literally, a KKK type of hatred of Jews that he has.
And we may have some video, right?
Yeah, you want to play that
Yeah.
Pulitzer video?
All right, let me set it up for the audience. 18 minutes after 5 o'clock. Hi, everybody. Tom Trento, Mark Campbell here. Mark Campbell. Make sure you put
Little
the
J.
J.
J
It's
for
a big
Jessica.
J.
J for Jessica.
Yes. Jessica, that's your first name? Jessica?
That's what the J stands for. Yes, it does.
You changed your name when you got married?
It is.
That is
J
a very
for
Unitarian
Jessica.
thing, no?
Not that many people know
Jessica
that.
is your first name?
Jessica.
Okay, I'll sit over here.
That's kind of like the boy named Sue
Sit over
type
there
of
with
thing.
your bad self.
I'll sit over here.
The boy named Sue type of thing.
I'm bad. How can I sit next to somebody named Jessica
I tell you what.
who doesn't wear a skirt?
Be the captain of the football team and baseball team with the
Here we
first
go.
name of Jessica.
Here we go.
I'm
So
telling
you're
you.
covering,
it's
You're
tough.
covering. Hey, not that there's anything wrong with somebody, a boy named Jessica,
Jess.
We're open-minded here.
It used to be
Was that a
Jess,
Johnny
but it's
Cash
actually
song?
Jessica.
Yeah, something like that.
And just J. That's what the J stands for.
Okay, there's probably some meaning behind that, I hope. I pray. Keep both hands on the table, please, okay?
Thanks for the pink compact. by the way.
I did not buy the compact. I did buy the phone, this thing. All right, 20 minutes now after 5 o'clock on WNN 1470 on a hot summer day, 21 August 2013. 442 days to November 4th. You got to get registered. We're going to be mobilizing conservative Christians, both on the Protestant and Catholic side. Liberal Christians, we're going to tell you that Election Day is the 5th of November, okay? Because we don't want you voting you're really too dumb in terms of analyzing the importance of the issues. You're moving from a self-centered perspective, not a selfless perspective. You're voting for toys and gimmicks and jazz and a nanny state, a paternalistic state. It's garbage. So we're mobilizing people of principle to win in 2014. That's what we're doing. We have our hands full with this next individual who's politically against us, ideologically against us, and due to what occurred last week, 1 week ago today, the 14th, Amir Bedier, who by all accounts is a Muslim brother, or at least not just a sympathizer, an aggressive participant in the Muslim Brotherhood's efforts to overthrow Mubarak and then to install Morsi and then fight to reinstate Morsi. Amir Bedier was killed last week by supposedly the Egyptian military.
A total jihadi act of blow yourself up, Allah Akbar jihadi.
That's what the information indicates. But Amir Bedier, who's an Egyptian who lives in Egypt, his brother Ahmed, that's Amir Bedier on the screen right now. This is a story by Joe Kaufman back in
December 5th, 2000.
December.
The story was from June.
Oh, June.
From
Okay,
June.
but on December 5th, 2012.
Regarding when Amir got shot the first time in a dust-up out in Tahrir Square. And so on December 5th, 2012, about 8 months ago, Amir was shot in his aggressive support of the Brotherhood. And last week, a week ago today, he was shot again and killed this time, shot through the throat. We covered that on the first two shows, but the reason why it's very important is because Ahmed Bedier, the brother of Amir, who is a total Muslim Brotherhood doctrinaire, card-carrying at this point, Muslim Brotherhood operative. He has worked with all the Muslim Brotherhood front groups, from CARE to ISNA, ICNA, all these groups, supporter of Hamas, of Hezbollah. And he was in Egypt last week and made international news by showing his dead brother on CBS and on CNN. He is back in the United States. He lives in Tampa, Florida, not far from where we are right now.
Right.
We have been fighting him every year in this state regarding the ideology of Islam as becoming part of public policy in Florida, which we repudiate. He now, Ahmed Bedier, next week will be a keynote speaker at what convention? Do you know?
I know what convention.
What convention?
That would be ISNA.
The Islamic Society North America?
Yeah.
Oh, one of the also unindicted co-conspirators on Holy Land Foundation?
Same one.
The one that runs, basically the ISNA, the one who runs like CARE and all these others, the head of the snake type of organization? Is that the same ISNA?
Yeah, and
Oh, okay.
relating this to
No connection.
to a street level. We'll relate it to organized crime because the Muslim Brotherhood is very similar. There it is.
There it is.
50th annual ISNA convention in D.C. next week and August 30th through
Does that mean
September
they've been
2nd.
around for 50 years?
50
though?
friggin' years. We fought this battle in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s with the organized crime, particularly the Five Families out of New York. And the Five Families had a ruling council that members from the council, from the families, sat on the council. The council gave direction to the Five Families.
That's almost identical.
Yeah, if I didn't know better, the Muslim Brotherhood is following the organized crime protocol and template
Right.
that the La Cosa Nostra used. ISNA is an organization that was started to be the umbrella organization for about 100 Muslim Brotherhood front groups throughout the United States. They needed an organizing entity and ISNA, Islamic Society of North America, was established, and it is the worst of the worst. Bedier, being a brother
Right.
martyred hero, is now a keynote speaker. This guy went in 1 year from a street-level Muslim Brotherhood thug. Mr. Bedier goes to Washington. Yep.
Mr. Bedier goes to Washington.
Is that the name? Is this his? What
This
is
is
that?
right off of the ISNA.
ISNA website.
Oh, read that.
This is right off of their description of their
Mr. Ahmed.
convention.
Wait, hold on. Let's have the Imam read it.
Okay.
Imam, can you read your boy's notation for what he's going to be
my very
doing?
good friend, Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed goes to Washington. Everything you wanted to know about political activism. Our American political system requires three things:
God.
money, organization, and contacts. Who you know and how you spend your money work together to make the difference in gaining political influence and helping to promote and protect the interests of the community. This session will discuss hands-on strategies on how to apply a systematic approach to gaining.
Now, the speakers on this, if you look at the bottom, it says the speakers is Kerman Wahid. I don't know him, but Ahmed Bedier, I know him. And the last guy on the
Andre
list,
Carson.
Andre Carson, who is a state representative. Was it South Carolina? I always forget.
No, I think he's out of Illinois, I think.
No, I think he's
Is
South
he
Carolina.
Minnesota or Illinois?
I can't remember.
No, Minnesota is Keith Ellison.
Ellison.
Try Andre Carson. I think it's Illinois.
But anyway, he's a state representative, and he's a rising star in the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Andre Carson is. Yep.
Coming back to us, Mike. Shut the-
Yeah, well, that's Ahmed Bedier's presentation, and plus he's going to be speaking in the
Indiana.
Indiana.
Close to Chicago.
Oh,
though.
that's right. Okay. Up in the South Bend area up there. Okay.
And so Ahmed Bedier is he was a significant Muslim leader in America. Now he's an international leader as a result of his activities, 2011 Tahrir Square helping overthrow Mubarak.
Right.
And then this recent deal fighting the Egyptian military, losing his brother, standing with President Morsi. He is viewed by the Brotherhood as a superstar. Now, what does he believe? Let's take a look at this video, which actually it's a news report by Wolf Blitzer last week. And Mark, you made the point the other day that how did CNN find Ahmed Bedier in the middle of Egypt? What is that all about?
And also CBS News
Well, it's
and
not a very big
MSNBC and all these other people all of a sudden just magically found Ahmed Bedier, you know. Maybe that's how you give the keynote speech for how to influence political people. You know, maybe he's going to give a little lengthy
How to
description
work
of
the media.
How to
in
work
your
the
favor.
media in this.
All right, watch this report. Here we go. There's Ahmed's picture. And now we're going to go to the CNN report
First of all,
with.
Ahmed, we're so sorry for your loss. How are you and your family doing? I know your brother left behind a wife and two beautiful children.
It's been a very difficult week with what's happening in Egypt, and with my brother. It's been like a roller coaster, but we're holding up.
Must be especially hard since you were in Egypt for what should have been a very happy occasion, a family wedding. What were the circumstances around your brother's shooting? Because I know you tweeted he was unarmed and he was fasting.
That's right, Wolf. I was actually in town in Cairo to attend another brother's wedding, and we were celebrating on Monday. 2 days later, my brother was shot and killed by what we believe to be police snipers in Rabat Square. My brother Amir, who's an accountant in Egypt, had been participating in the sit-in protest in Rabat Square for about a month now, especially in the evenings. He would go to work during the daytime, but in the evenings he would actually go and spend his time in Rabat Square. And on Wednesday morning, he had been in Rabat Square since 6 in the morning, and the crackdown and the attempt to clear out the protest by the police started about that time of 6:30 or 7 when he was there. He actually went up, and his wife last saw him at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And he had already sustained some sort of damage, and says it was fierce out there, but there was a lot of women and children, and he felt obligated to go back and help those people that were getting wounded, and he felt that he would betray them if he stayed upstairs in the comfort of his home. So he went back down. About an hour later, he actually got shot by a bullet that went through his neck and his back and killed him instantly. We didn't actually find out about that until later that night. So there's a lot of, for a long period of time, we didn't know what was happening. Many people are dying, and it's just the site that I saw yesterday. It was like a war zone in that mosque, and that was just one location. 300 bodies. Many of them are women. Many of them are young people. Many of them are just charred. They're like charcoal, and I've never seen that much violence before. And this wasn't an external fight. This was the Egyptian police and military killing its own people. It wasn't like an external enemy. This was not Israel. I mean, the joke now or the comment that you hear in around Egypt is even the Israelis, who are historically used to be enemies with the Egyptians. Of course, they have a peace treaty now. The Israelis don't even do that to Palestinians.
Okay, hold it right there.
Supposedly, Egyptians doing that.
Hold it right there. We're going to go back because what we want to draw your attention to is a very critically important point. This is Ahmed Bedier last week being interviewed by Wolf Blitzer regarding the death of his brother. Now, notwithstanding his brother and the jihad nature of his brother, and if his brother was there fasting and praying and feeding the poor and bringing in world peace, forget about all of that propaganda that you're hearing. All we want to draw your attention to is a very critically important statement made by an individual that floats in and out of the Florida legislature up in Tallahassee, wields tremendous influence here, is now parlaying that political influence in state legislatures all over America, and has a front group, a political organizing front group called, what is the name?
United Voices
United
for
Voices for America. Now, we have confronted him. Joe Kaufman, who is a counterterrorism investigative reporter, has confronted him, and Bedier always says, well, Israel is Israel, and we can disagree about Israel and all of that. On occasion, he slips up. Massive slip up here. We're going to show it to you, and you caught this, Damon. What were your thoughts when you heard this?
Well, what he did is he's emotional, and normally he's the slickest.
Yeah, he's
the guy's got more control of his tongue and what he says. He is so in control and always wants to play the good guy. That's why he left CARE.
Right.
Okay? And I picked up what he said.
Wait, hang on. For the record, today's the 21st of August, 33 minutes after 5 o'clock. Back in March, I believe, you went up to Muslim Day in Tallahassee and had a confrontation with Bedier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You engaged in dialogue with him.
I tried to.
And that slick
He started
veneer-
the day by calling me and Alan Kornman a profanity. Okay, that is how the day started, because he knew our cameras weren't set up. We were actually setting up our equipment outside. He walked by on his way into the Capitol and referred to both of us as things I can't say on the air.
All right, but the point for the audience,
the point,
our
what I
listeners,
caught there,
our listeners and our viewers, that when you're talking about Bedier and we talk about him, this isn't in a vacuum, like,
Right.
detached. Mark, you
I've-
sat down and had extended
I
conversations.
had a
with him.
good half-hour conversation with him, and he
went up to
tried
me.
to hire me, Tom.
Oh, that's right, he did. That's right, for a video. So we're talking from experience about a guy that analogously could be compared to, Al Capone or one of the
Right.
mobsters in the MB, in the Muslim Brotherhood, who appears to do a lot of good things for people in the Islamic community, but is really pushing an agenda that is anti-American, anti-Israel,
Right.
anti-West. Now, tell what you found here, and we'll play it again, Mike. Cue it up.
What I heard
Not the whole
in
thing,
that,
just about a minute back.
what he just said was he was talking about the Egyptians killing Egyptians and how terrible it is. He says, even external enemies don't do this. When he says external enemies like Israel, that was a slip-up, because if he's not familiar, there's something called the Camp David Accords that are about 35 years old, that Israel and Egypt have not been at war in 35 years, and Ahmed can't
Right.
be even 50 years old. So since he was a child, Since he was a child, Israel and Egypt have not been enemies. So that shows you his deep-seated anti-Semitism.
Deep-seated hate. Hey, Mark, what are you doing here?
Another international incident?
He knocked off the top of the dome.
Oh, and you're going there next month. You're in trouble, buddy.
I got a super
Yeah, we got a
Third temple's coming down. Man.
You know, and I picked up some images off of, go to Net One, would you? I picked up some images off of his Facebook page. You know, these are posts on Ahmed Bedier's Facebook page. Go ahead and read that one.
We don't need the Olympics or UN to tell us we exist. Palestine existed before Moses and will exist after the occupation.
And it's the athletes, the Palestinian athletes, marching with their Palestinian flag. What's the next one?
Well, we have a bunch, but just to talk about this one, he is referring to Israel as occupiers.
Right.
You know, so it's basically what he's doing.
Yeah,
Here's
they
another
always
nice
do.
one.
This Ramadan, pray for the day when Palestine children will live free.
And it shows a little girl holding a lantern and a hijab, almost a full niqab.
Right.
It looks like.
Like they're not.
And again,
free.
these are straight. I mean, this says fb.com/Bedier USA. I mean, these are his.
He's a. Go ahead.
Here's another nice one. This is the Castro character from the House of Horrors in Ohio in his court sentencing, and it's captioned, "Why is the media not talking about his religion? Because he's not Muslim."
Oh, so the Castro deviant guy isn't a Muslim, and that's why they're not talking about his religion. Okay.
Correct.
And these are all on
It's
his.
more race baiting and just Okay.
All right. Well, all these images support the theory that Ahmed Bedier, rising star in the Muslim Brotherhood, hates Jews. Let's listen again to the slip up. Now, listen real carefully. This guy is influencing American politicians nationally and specifically in the state of Florida, which is a bellwether state, a significant state in every single election, whether a general election or an off-year election. That's why it's so important right now, folks. That's why it's so important to understand what's going on with Ahmed Bedier. That's why we're driving this point home. Mike, play where he, about a minute from where you were. Go. We have to find that spot where...
Yeah, but it's interesting. Also in that video, too, I noticed, and you can't hear it on the radio.
First of all, Ahmed, we're so sorry for your loss.
not
how
for
are
me.
you
That's
and
the
your
beginning.
family doing? I know your brother left
No,
behind
about a
a
minute
wife
from
and
where
two
you were.
beautiful children.
What, can you hear it? Can you
It's been a very
cue it
difficult
up?
week
No.
with what's happening in Egypt and with my brother. It's been like a roller.
All right, well, we'll just repeat. I don't want to waste time. It's 38
On
minutes
Wednesday morning, I
after.
had been in Rabbah Square since 6 in the morning.
Right, just cut it off,
and
Mike.
the
We'll
crack,
just explain
down,
it. What he said, and you stated it, Damon, but I want to really drive this point
Please
home.
do. Drive it.
When Ahmed Bedier has this very sophisticated Armani exterior. He's
Right.
always in control. Once in a while, though, he pops a circuit.
He does.
We got to show that popping a circuit video in a second.
Oh, yeah, he popped it at Muslim Day.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll show that one. And he pops it when he gets angry, or this is a very sad situation. And we have got on the record as saying, as much as we have an ideological difference and Bedier is an ideological enemy, we had extended our condolences to he and his family at the
Right.
loss of their loved one. So we're not disrespectful in that sense, but we're also not playing games being politically correct. His brother was a jihadi. He's a cultural jihadi. He hates Jews. And in this interview, when he is emotionally downtrodden at the loss of his brother, seeing his brother lying there shot and dead, he says, this is not an external battle. This is not the Egyptian military against the Assyrians or the
Right.
Persians. He said, this is not an external battle. This is Egyptians on Egyptians. It's not against an enemy like Israel. In his mind, Israel is a black and white enemy to Egypt.
Right.
Now, you made the point, Damon, that since the Camp David Accords, there is a formal treaty treaty. But the fact of the matter is, every poll that we have seen over the past 15 years, done by Gallup or Pew or any reputable organization.
Anti-Semitism, yeah.
There's been many European ones. The populace, the 85 million people, the majority of Egyptians hate Jews. That's simple. They hate Jews. It's
I
part
can
of their
attest to
culture.
this. Trento is not lying.
Yeah.
Tom, also, we
This-
touched on this a long time ago, or when it was when the legislature was still in. This guy made a full-time job of trying to prevent ALAC, American Laws for American Courts, from passing. We have our Florida legislator being influenced by a civilizational jihadist.
Amen. I mean,
Yep.
that is as clear as could be.
Yep.
And to underscore that, I'm looking at this thing.
You are bad. You're a bad man.
Bad to the bone.
That's the Ayatollah of Islamophobia.
You don't need to carry a weapon. Nobody needs to carry a weapon. Just pull this thing out. Go.
I'm bad.
Tom, if you want, we have his policy brief from his United Voices for America. His policy brief: should Sharia law be banned? Not so fast.
This is about a year ago. This is
June 2011. But this is what he was using to influence battle.
Is this the video from Muslim Day?
No. This is literally, this was an 8-page policy brief that he was peddling to the legislature and whoever else wanted to look at it. Basically saying why ALAC is not good. I went over a couple of the points. It was 8 pages. I just picked out a couple of stellar
Go over the
quotes
points.
if you want to
ALAC
know
is
what.
American Laws for American Courts. Some states, about 6 states now, truly believe that if you are going to enter into litigation, if people want to participate in their state, the laws they must follow should be U.S. laws or Florida state laws or the respective state, not laws from Norway or Italy or Germany or
The
Islam.
Quran.
Yeah, or the Quran. So Florida had tried to pass 3 years in a row American laws for American courts. If you want to live in Florida, you
Right.
got to follow Florida law.
That is crazy.
Bedier has fought against that for 3 years and says, no, we Muslims have our own law. We want to be judged by our own law. Go ahead.
These are just a few quotes. This is from the beginning. With the rising tide of anti-Muslim, anti-Hispanic, and anti-European emotion, some lawmakers...
What is that?
I don't know.
I'm
Wouldn't
European.
it be Europeans with the...
I'm anti-me.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I'm anti-me, yeah.
Some lawmakers are seeking to sneak in a bill that will harm the foundations of the right to freedom of religion and impede international trade and commerce.
Oh, my
At present,
God.
numerous states have this copycat legislation pending. Incidentally, the actual motive behind these potential laws is a deep-seated hatred of Islam and Muslims.
Oh, my God.
The wording of... Go ahead, Mark.
No, it's just it's the same playbook that Obama's using today with the race card. It's the same thing. First of all, it was the first 3 years of the Obama administration. Bush, 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 Bush. And now it's all racist, 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 racist. And that's all they have. That's all they have. And he's going right with the Obama administration on his portrayal of the race card. And he's going
playing
on
the Islam
He's
card.
playing the Islam card.
And our
yes.
job here on TrentoVision, folks, at 45 minutes after 5
Where
o'clock.
does the time go?
On the 21st of August, our job is to expose this nonsense, whether it's from the mouth and hands and feet of the Obama administration or whether it's from the Muslim lips of Ahmed Bedier. Let's let those Muslim lips speak for themselves. Last year,
Yes.
2012, Muslim Day, if you think we're demonizing Ahmed Bedier, who's a civil libertarian, sits on the Human Rights Commission in Tampa, Florida,
Yep.
has all kinds of awards, very highly respected individual by many Democrat politicians. Usually the further left they are, the more receptive they are to Ahmed Bedier. If you think we are setting up a straw man and just attacking someone because we hate Muslims or we hate Islam or any of that, we have a special treat for you. We're going to let Mr. Ahmed Bedier speak for himself. I'd say this is unplugged. Why don't you set this up, Mark? For the
Yeah,
folks?
what happened is we're sitting here now. This is after he's already kicked us out of Muslim Day because we paid for our whole session and everything, And he ended up, and we finally won by being able to videotape him throughout the day.
Because he was on the state capitol public access property.
And he's on the, was it
22nd floor.
22nd floor of the building. And
Capitol, state capitol.
And I'm standing right in front of him, okay? I mean, literally, like this, you know, with my camera, okay? We need donations, by the way, because our camera is a hand crank model.
Well, he just replaced the dodo bird. Did you have Fred
like
Flintstone's dodo bird camera?
That's right. So I'm like this. I'm literally, I'm sort of looking like dead at him, right? And he starts just going.
Mark's over about 30 feet away from me. I'm sitting, I'm leaning on the back wall, and Bedier starts saying what you're going to hear right now, and I'm going, oh.
And the funny one was as ZJ Hafez, his protege, another person you need to know about. Now, this is the up-and-comer of the Ahmed Bedier light. ZJ Hafez, and he's a little bit more polished than even Ahmed is.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, listen, Ahmed, do this. Now, what's really funny, you look at this video, look at ZJ Hafez, how he just kind of like shrinks off into the corner, and he goes, oh my God, he's saying this.
And we've done so much of this kind of expose video that you kind of know when you hear this stuff happen.
You're going,
we got gold, we got gold.
Tom's looking at me, he says, you got that, you got that. Yeah, I got that.
Did you hit the on button? All right, let's show the folks what we videotaped just about a year ago.
Yeah, let it go in just a little bit, Mike. Fast forward about 30 seconds there, but
I'll read a quick quote while he's doing that. This is still from the policy brief. Foreign laws and legal doctrines do not run anathema to American constitutional ideals. Instead, foreign laws are fused into the spirit and letter of the law. Islam is a religion of unity and action with safeguards for individual rights and liberties.
Here it comes. Here comes a video clip right now.
The day we won.
Turn it up a little bit.
And those senators, those representatives learned a lesson. That if you're going to go after the Muslim community is going to go after you. And we're not going to stay quiet. We're not going to sit back. When you punch, we're going to punch you twice as hard. When you fight us, we're going to fight you twice, 3 times as hard, and we're not going to stop fighting politically until you're out of office, because we deserve better. And you saw all the people that are walking the hallways. Most of them are white, blonde, pretty.
Look at ZJ. Look at ZJ disappear.
He goes, I'm getting the hell out of here.
I'm telling you. So we don't want just pretty people walking around here. One thing that's missing in Tallahassee are minorities, not just Muslims. You hardly saw any black people in the hallways. You hardly saw any black people in office. You hardly saw any black people on staff. Most of the black people in this building are working in housekeeping in the cafeteria and maybe security. What does it say about what happens in Tallahassee?
No, this is a black senator he's talking to.
The Constitution was written by slave holders, and even some of our I said racist slave holders. If you own a person,
that's not distracting.
If you own a person, I believe that is racist.
These are the Act for America hate group.
Oh, the hate group.
So the Southern Poverty Law.
Speaking of the Constitution.
That's good, Mike.
This is still from the policy.
Oh
my God. You can kill that. Ahmed.
This is Ahmed. The influence of Islamic jurisprudence on the democratic ideals of the founding fathers is evident in the creating the Union and in drafting the United States Constitution. The Charter of Medina, drafted by the Muslims in Medina under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad, was the first written constitution in the world and was arguably the first constitutional law in society. American history is replete with references to Islamic law.
You see, and obviously that is a bunch of...
That's a bunch of nonsense.
Okay, I mean, that's just a bunch of crap. Historically, logically, philosophically, factually, it's just a lie.
Wrong.
It's nonsense. But he has an organization, United Voices, where he now takes so many students per year and trains them in this crap, which he has a right to do. I mean, he's raised money as an organization. Our job is to expose him, and our job is to mobilize people of conscience, people who are committed not to the Compact of Medina, but to the Constitution of the United States of America, where Article 6 says there's no other law but U.S. law. We need, folks, if you want to save this country from the Islamic invasion, the cultural invasion that will be salted with suicide bombers and Boston operations time after time after time again in the next 5, 10, 15 years. If you want to save America from that, you're going to have to understand the threat index, the absolute lethality of Sharia-compliant Islam. You're going to have to understand doctrinally, and I know this is difficult for Americans who are concerned and want to assimilate and be accommodating as we normally are as Americans. But when you have an enemy inside the wire, and the Muslim Brotherhood should be declared a terrorist organization. We've been saying this for about 8 years. Now, Egypt is finally saying, I think we need to declare these a terrorist organization.
Will we? If Egypt declares them a terrorist organization, will we?
Great question. We'll find out. But we need to function as if a Muslim Brotherhood is indeed an enemy of the state, an ideological enemy. And the law may not be written at this point that puts the doctrines of the Brotherhood in an illegal context, though we argue that they are. But the fact is, if we want to have the United States survive, have the West survive, have Israel survive, we've got to deal with the doctrine of Islam as it's being implemented in the United States by Muslim Brotherhood leaders like Bedier. Critically important. What do you got, Mark?
No, and Mike, can you bring me up now on that too? Because I want to give you that Pew poll.
Oh yeah, watch this.
This is actually pretty fascinating. As if you look at the Muslims' negative opinion on Jews, and this is the green area, Gary, you see is very negative, racist. I hate Jews, want to kill them, and the little white area on top is the little bit negative, right?
What is wrong with those white areas?
Now, if you look at Egypt, okay, its opinion of Israel, Jewish society is 95% negative. From what we hear over in Egypt in the newspapers, it's a daily bashing of Israel, Judaism, just a straight-out Jew hatred.
Did you just say 95%?
95%.
So going back over some Egyptian numbers, supposedly 10% of the country is Coptic Christian.
Right.
So let's say half of the Coptic Christians hated Jews, or actually accepted Israel and Jews.
Right.
If half of the Coptic Christians
That's the numbers.
that means the other half don't, and every single other person hates Jews in Israel.
That's right. Now what are the chances? Now I know. Do your mathematical extrapolation and think. What does Ahmed Bedier think of Jewish people who, since his country is right next to Israel, and he's over there in league with the Muslim Brotherhood inside their mosque and everything. This guy just has a loathing from birth. From birth, from childhood, from everything. Just Jews are this, Jews are that, Jews are this. Similarly to like a person who's brought up in a KKK environment. Yep. They're going to have the same type of attitude.
For a guy that claims interfaith, loves the interfaith thing. In fact, here, if you go to my Net One real quick, the guy preaches interfaith. Remember when he started Voices, United Voices, interfaith was one of his things.
Yeah, Jews and Christians standing up for Muslims.
Well, the joke is we heard his rant. We heard his rant in Capital Day, Muslim Capital Day. Just heard that, and he said, if the politicians want to fight, we'll hit them twice as hard. If they want this, 3 times as hard. This is Ahmed Bedier in America, in his Armani suit, in the state capitol saying that. Imagine he and his brother
inside.
In Robert Square or Tahrir Square.
Now,
what their thinking is, if this is the way they're thinking in America.
Oh, by the way, they were carrying, it was funny when you're showing that whole video clip on the, from the CNN. Everybody they were showing who was protesting against the military was carrying an AK-47, standing in front of a machine gun. But they were innocent people. They weren't shooting bullets at them.
We all saw the videos from the brother supporters shooting from the minarets of the mosque at the police.
They were shooting on top.
And army.
Yeah, they were shooting on top like this from top of the mosque.
All right, well, here's where we are, folks. It's the 21st of August. We are completing really 3 parts on Ahmed Bedier.
So
Monday,
what
Tuesday.
will you determine with Ahmed Bedier? Is he
Oh, the question we asked originally, and Damon, get today's promo up. I want to segue to that in a second. Question we asked originally on Monday: is Ahmed Bedier a secret agent for the Muslim Brotherhood? And the answer is yes. It ain't too
Absolutely.
secret, okay?
No, it's not secret at
He's
all.
an agent of influence, which is a formal position in the world of espionage.
Right.
You can be a covert agent where you have a different identity and you slip in and you steal secrets, or you can be an overt agent, which is you are who you are, but you work for other governments. You're assisting other governments in getting their policies, procedures, and desires implemented in a way in the United States that's deleterious to the United States. That's what he is all about. Yes.
And he states it very clearly in the upcoming ISNA convention that he is going to.
Audio just went out or something.
On Mark's.
On Mark. Your battery?
My battery. I'm gonna hit a button here.
I think you hit a button. Just lean over and talk into.
Here, talking. No, wait a minute. Jessica, stay over there, Jessica.
Oh, I knew there was something to that.
He faked it. And he wants to use my microphone. Here, I'll let you use it. All right, so Ahmed Bedier.
It's here. Oh, wow.
Oh, there you go. You're on. What happened?
It's a low battery.
Low battery.
But he states it in his ISNA convention what he is there to do. He is there to politically influence people for the Islamic cause. He states it.
Nope, you're dead again. All right, let's go. All right, we're going to make a segue now to the promo we sent out last night, because all of this is part and parcel of what we're doing here on National Security Radio. Take a look at your screen, not you guys driving. Go home, watch youtube.com/theunitedwest. Mine just went out.
No. You're good.
Hello?
You're fine.
No, it's out.
No, you're good.
You're good.
Something. Oh, there you go. You hit that when you.
You know,
CJ, where are you?
where are you?
As much as she drives, that's crazy. No, we love her. We want you to go to youtube.com/theunitedwest to see all the material we're working with here. We have a summer report card we put out last night for President Obama. Slowly scroll that up, will you, our production department, please? Here's Barack Hussein Obama's summer report card.
Camera 4.
Yeah.
Can you scroll?
There it
up?
is. The summary report card.
All right. Well, can you scroll the other thing? Because I had all the
Actually,
words.
it just looked horrible, so I just
Oh,
did,
okay.
slideshow.
Well,
Here we go. Come back to net 1.
Here we go. For wave zooming, and there's a picture of him zooming through the waves, he gets an A+.
A+.
And then for playing with kids, there he is in the water. He's got a skim board, a little belly board. He's playing with a bunch of little kids. The president gets an
A+.
A+. All right. All things golf. What does he get, Mark?
A++++++.
And finally, for defending his Christian faith in Egypt, F.
Well, that depends on which side you're looking at that
F
from.
minus.
That's if you're a Muslim brother, he gets an A+.
No, it says his Christian
Well,
faith.
yeah.
He's doing a better job defending his Muslim faith.
I
than
got
his
so
Christian
many.
faith.
I got so many responses from this. I got to wind it up right now. I got so many responses from this, where people said, "How much time?" I think we may have another minute.
No.
because we started at 2.
No.
No, we're almost done, unfortunately.
I put for defending his Christian faith. I put an asterisk there, and so many people said he's not a Christian. He's not a Christian. Well, he says he is. He should be defending the Christians in Egypt. Stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to pick this up. Right now, we got to say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Allah Akbar.
My star moment is over.
That's it, yeah. Get back on the other side.
Get back on the other side. Get back on the other
Bye,
side.
everybody.
Fade the black.
Fade the black. Oh, I should have
Fade
checked
to
these
black.
things out. I gotta check this out.